Hello, love. This message is not going to be for everyone because I realize that in doing this work, the work of alchemy, there are very specific souls who have signed up for this. And that is exactly what I'm here for. I'm inviting you now into this sacred space for you to see the gold in your shadow. And I think it's really fitting that I am recording this on the summer solstice, when the sun, from our vantage point here on Mama Gaia, is at its highest point in the sky. The sun representing many different things across different cultures and philosophies. But more than anything, we're talking here about the self, the soul, the most active form of self. This is often attributed to a more masculine energy. This is an energy of honoring the light, enlightenment, the light being consciousness. What I want to bring forward in this message, and I'm just going off of some very bare minimum kind of prompts here, and then I'm going to allow the energies that want to come through spirit to speak through me. I'm just going to channel straight up what the messages want to be. I have little preparation for this. It has to do with how the brightest days create, just like today, create the clearest shadows, the deepest shadows. As awakened souls, as spiritually sensitive souls, as those of us who are here on a transformative spiritual journey, come to understand is that this dynamic of polarity and duality, we're kind of always talking about the same thing, aren't we? So even on the brightest days, we see the shadows at their darkest. We see the shadows most clearly. And that is in a way why I'm being prompted to do this message, okay? What I had channeled a little while ago was this sentence: your shadow is your biggest ally, and it's not something to be afraid of. And it was coming through some work that I was doing with offerings that I'm building, and essentially the reason why I'm here, one of the biggest reasons why I'm here, my mission here, has a lot to do with exactly this. It's about creating the sacred space for us to see our shadow and not be afraid of it. And if anything, understand that our shadows are our biggest allies. We cripple ourselves when we shy away from the deepest emotional truths within each and every one of us. We debilitate ourselves when we don't see that our biggest fears, our biggest challenges are actually the way. The last message, and I'll link that here, the last message that I had posted here had to do with the obstacle being the way. We are living at this moment in time, this is a timely aspect of this message, precisely during this time. This is exactly what's going on right now. We are living in a time where the depths of the shadows are coming to the surface to be seen. And there's something very palpable about this summer solstice. June 21st, 2026. I haven't even looked into the numerology around that. There could be something there. I'm being prompted just to mention that here. If you are students of numerology, please leave some of that in the comments below if you're feeling called to. So This is a message that is meant to find you. I'm putting the intention here. It's meant, we're here for the great gathering, is what I'm hearing Spirit say. And this has been something that I have been feeling into the last few months very palpably. And if you look back at some of the videos and some of the messages that have come through on the channel, I did a whole series with the Venusians that had to do with right relationship. A lot of the shadow work and the light work, because it goes both ways, that's being done right now, has to do with aligning to our tribe, aligning to right relationship, aligning to souls and individuals who, like you, like me, are here on an alchemical journey. We are here on a journey of massive growth and evolution. We signed up for a lot of changes. I keep on hearing with that Plutonian types. I'm going to get to Pluto in a minute here. Pluto. I want to emphasize the etymology here of that word. Plutos in Greek. Riches. Gold in the shit, as I like to say. Gold in the depths of the shadow, the subconscious and the unconscious. And on a day like today, where we are honoring the light, we are also honoring the light that sheds light, contrast on the shadow. So having said all of that, this is about this very, and I use alchemy, I'm talking about alchemy in a very esoteric, call it psychological way, emotional way. I talk about empath alchemy and emotional alchemy a lot, where all the perceived challenges, obstacles, all of the pain that we encounter here on this journey is food for our deepest growth and evolution. And if you're at a point, I have the energy of Archangel Raphael here, who's one of my main guides, saying to me that if you're at a point in your journey where you're getting this, you are at a huge, I'm hearing precipice of change when it comes to your evolution and growth. And I am all here for that. I've been saying a lot to myself lately, especially the human aspect of me is saying a lot to myself lately. You haven't gone all through this for nothing. You haven't gone through all of this for nothing. And I keep on hearing with that again. The obstacle is the way. Okay, so I've got the energy here. I'm going to show a couple cards here just to kind of set the stage. The Star Codes Astro Oracle. I was prompted to pull out the Pluto card, which the caption for this card here is Rebirth. Now, what's interesting about the energy of Pluto and the glyph of Pluto is Pluto is quote unquote what's called a modern planet, okay? And what the energy of Pluto and what I feel the energy of Archangel Raphael bringing through with this is that this has to do with where we are at as a collective, where humanity is, where Mama Gaia is collectively in her stage of evolution, energetically, frequency-wise. That's why when we refer to Pluto, he's showing me as a modern planet. Pluto, in a sense, has always kind of been there, or has it, is what he's saying with a question mark. That's interesting, because what he's showing me is that when you're ready, the teacher appears. It's this old adage of when you are ready energetically, the next stage of your journey, the teacher appears. Pluto appeared, I believe it was in the 19th century, late 1800s. I can't remember off the top of my head when we first really started to see. And it has to do, it's congruent and parallel to the advancements that we make as a collective, and then what we are able to see because of the advancements that have been made. So, this energy of your shadow being your biggest ally, understanding that at a deeper level comes from this place of it's because you're ready for it. You're ready to make the obstacle the way now. And what he's showing me with that is the amount, how quickly, once we understand that, how things start to move that much more quickly for us in life. And especially with the energy and what it is right now on Mama Gaia, time, you're noticing, time has been moving a lot more quickly. We're also feeling like we are just in this constant eternal now moment more than ever. And also timelines are shifting much more quickly and drastically because of that. Okay. And a lot of it is also, this is a huge healing. I'm getting the Temperance card energy coming through with this as well. Like, this is some massive healing that's taken place. Okay. These are the energies. I'm also getting a quick confirmation here around working with Archangel Michael around this, and Archangel Raphael working with archangelic energies, that they've been coming through quite a lot lately to show the amount of protection and shielding and support that they've been giving us. And I keep on hearing again on realms that we would have never could even fathom. Okay. I just want to point out here very quickly too, that in this deck, Pluto is the number 27, 2 and 7, that reduces to a 9. There have been quite a few cycles as well closing out. Archangel Raphael wants to also really emphasize here and enunciate in a way on that for this has to do a lot with the timeline shifts too, and cycles closing out. 2 is a number of relationship, very closely connected to the divine feminine and the high priestess, of course, right? It's a very intuitive number. And 7 is the energy of going deeper. 7 is a very mystical number. 7 is a very esoteric number. And I'm hearing 7 chapters of change. And I'm also hearing with that 9 lives, a cat having 9 lives, 2 and 7 being the 9. Take whatever resonates there for you, okay? I also pulled out the 8th house, which in this deck is, the caption here is mystery. And I'm hearing with that to be or not to be, that is the question. I'm literally hearing Hamlet being quoted with the skull. This is part of our natural growth and evolution, the cycles of birth, death, rebirth. And they're showing me again 9 lives. So this is also another confirmation of those of you who are here, those of you who are actually watching this video and listening to this message and connecting to this portal, okay? That there is a deeper, almost subconscious understanding of the cycles of birth, death, and rebirth, and that many of you have gone through 9 lives. And I say that, I mean, for some of you, maybe it's metaphorical, but for few of you, I feel, but it's more, literal, sorry, when I say that, but for a few of you, it may be literal. That may be literal. For the majority of us, it is metaphorical in terms of the amount of quote unquote ego deaths that we've had. The death of selves is what I'm hearing Archangel Raphael say, and the alchemical process of evolving. And he's showing me with that Archangel Raphael, him in the Lover's card in the tarot, and this idea of our relationship to self. Okay, so we have who we are, what we are as a soul energetically, and then we have the human self and our relationship to that. And there's always a third. I always see relationships as there's always this third entity that is the actual relationship. And he's showing me with that like a triangle. He's actually showing me the triangle on the plate of the angel in the Temperance card, which is often associated with Archangel Michael. Their presence is very big for this message, so that might be a confirmation for some of you, okay? Both to me, and please leave a comment here if you relate to this. Thank you, Spirit. Getting confirmations with numbers. 14 might be a number for you. Seeing 1414 on the counter as I say this. So both Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael are incredibly healing and alchemical energies. We often associate Archangel Raphael with being the angel of healing, God who heals, right? Archangel Michael also is healing because he provides truth, and truth is healing. And they often work in tandem. They're showing me right now their energies, their light energies working in tandem with each other. Archangel Michael often works with creating the safe spaces, the boundaries, the cutting off. He's a much more masculine energy, divine masculine energy in that respect. And Archangel Raphael, much more in that divine feminine space of healing. They work in tandem with each other. And in a way, both of them represent very healthy, highly attuned, aligned aspects of the divine masculine. I just saw 16 to 16, 17 on the counter with that. So that's the tower energy, and that's the energy of progress. They're working very, I'm hearing rapidly on this currently. And for any of you who, again, are in this message watching this, if you are struggling or if you need support in this, they're almost giving me like an open invitation to you, extending that open invitation to you to call upon them and work with them in sacred space, of course. Okay. So getting back to this, thank you. Getting back to, I'm hearing without distortion. Make sure that you affirm that. Okay. Whenever you're opening up sacred space lately, this has been a big thing that's coming through. Okay. The 8th house is the house of mystery. Well, why is it the house of mystery? It has so much to do with what is subconscious, with what is unconscious, and in essence, the void. And what spirit, what these energies are showing me is I often associate the energy of Scorpio, which rules the 8th house, as an energy that is like a very, very deep, deep, dark lake. Very still. And I often get that phrase, still waters that run deep, when I associate with the energy of Scorpio and this idea of fixed water, because it is a fixed water sign. And this is an energy that I am very familiar with because I have a Libra stellium in the 8th house. I have 5 planets in the 8th house. They want me to share that. So if you're feeling that energy, you're feeling it right. A lot of the reason why they're bringing that up is because intuitively, if you're picking up on that energy coming through me, through this video, through the energy of this, you're on point. You're on point. Also, and this had come up in a message a little while ago, that a lot of souls that I end up aligning to are Plutonian types. Okay. Also, I am a Pluto and Libra generation. Okay. So that is a big thing for me. I have Pluto pretty much conjunct my sun. I get these kind of energies and I attract and magnetize and also align a lot with people who have prominent placements like this, whether they have like Pluto on their ascendant, Pluto in their first house, Pluto at the midheaven, Pluto conjunct their sun, Pluto conjunct their planetary ruler, whether they have a lot of Scorpio 8th house energy, even water energy, because I'm also a Pisces rising. So there's a lot of that has been, and the reason why I bring all of this up is because of how much sense it made for me when I discovered this. Because, I mean, I was having all the feels and I was doing all the things and whatnot. And then I was like, why am I like this? and then I had my chart done. So 46, the energy of 4 and 6. This wants to come through as a very stabilizing and harmonizing energy. This energy of still waters running deep. Being grounded in our bodies is a huge part of this. So a lot of the reason why many people are just afraid of their own shadows is because they simply have not done the somatic work or the grounding work. Big hot thing that we've been talking about for the last few years is this nervous system regulation. We're moving, what I'm getting here, this is like, I'm literally feeling the energy of Pluto here. What I'm getting is that the kind of traditional modes of psychology up until this point have been a top-down method of we psychoanalyze the brain and thoughts and we're focusing on the mental body, when really, especially for sensitive souls, psychic, spiritual, intuitive souls, empaths, okay, a lot of clairsentience, all right, it's a bottom-up method. And that's why Pluto comes so big time, comes through for this, because Pluto is, in esoteric speak, the energy of the underworld, the energy of the depths of, literally, when we look at it in mythology, the world beneath our feet, our root, the earth star chakra, the root chakra, okay, which is directly associated with the body, and to a certain degree density. So that's why you feel a lot of intensity with this energy, a lot of gravitas with this energy. It's intense because a lot of it lives in the body, in the physical body. Okay. Now notice in this card, we've got the image of a skull, which is the image of transformation, of death and rebirth. Okay. This concept of death, metaphorically and literally speaking, being a portal of change and rebirth. I'm hearing metamorphosis, right? And we are going through a huge thing with that. Just recently, I was talking about, again, going through another chrysalis phase, right? And then what we have here, which I really think is fascinating, and spirit, they're all guiding me to this wheel. And they're showing me this wheel as the wheel of life. It's also looking to me like the, what do you call it? Like the when you steer the ship, like the wheel of a ship. And what's beautiful in this image is if you look at the hands and the flowers, these hands are jeweled, the flowers are jeweled. There's crystals hanging from these flowers, which indicate a crystallization, okay? And there's a reason why we also call it a chrysalis. There is a crystallization of understanding. Synthesis is what I'm hearing. And even within these depths that supposedly are void of light, there is a blooming that is taking place with this flower energy that is coming through. Okay. Pluto asks you, and I'm just going to take some notes from this guidebook. And this is, I think, how I'm going to close out this reading, because I'd like to do these things in installments moving forward, because it's a lot. The energy is a lot. Pluto asks you to dig deep, be willing to transform, and to use the power, and I'm hearing Archangel Raphael add here, to use the power of your shadow wisely. And this is how we essentially turn the shiz into gold. This journey is not for those who just want to use spirituality as a way to escape. This journey is for those who have the courage to change, who also know at a very deep level that they didn't just come here. It's becoming uncomfortable. Again, they're giving me the imagery of the chrysalis and even a snake that's shedding its skin. You are expanding within a shell right now that is not holding you anymore. It's becoming, I'm hearing, gravely uncomfortable. Speaking about death and rebirth, gravely uncomfortable. It's becoming gravely uncomfortable, okay? This is not anything to be afraid of. And if anything, the fear that is coming up, just like your shadow that wants to be looked at, is coming up as your friend. I'm getting a little bit of Saturnian energy coming in here as well, of the whole idea of these lessons. These are lessons for your growth. Okay. And there is also nothing wrong with you. This is another thing that he wants to bring through, because there is some very kind of misinterpreted thinking, philosophy, theory out there in the spiritual community. This whole idea of you bringing something upon yourself, okay, where, and again, these are misinterpretations of karma. That's a whole other topic for discussion. If you're interested in exploring that, please leave a comment. But this concept of, well, you brought it upon yourself somehow. It's a form of punishment consciousness that we've inherited through a lot of programming. And it goes so much deeper than that. So if you're feeling that, oh my God, this shadow work that you're having to do, the shadow that you're having to face, the fears that keep on coming up that feel debilitating, that in some way you brought that upon yourself, you have not done that. If anything, the opportunity is being presented to you to face these things because you have the capacity to do so and to transmute the shit out of it, okay? And that's exactly why I'm here. So this is the first part of, this is, I guess, the first part of this sort of ongoing exploration that we're going to be doing on the channel and the work that I'm doing. I want to close out this reading by inviting you to look at the services that I provide. I'm going to put them in the description box below, and in the comment section, I'm going to pin it. That has a lot to do with this. I create sacred space for you to feel safe enough to face the things that you feel are really holding you back, or that you feel perhaps a disconnect with your soul and the journey that you are on to reconnect. They are named the soul recalibration sessions for a reason, because it recalibrates you back to your soul. Okay. That is what I'm here to do. A big part of what I offer is that, to create safe space for the transformation that you know you have to face and that you've signed up for. So I invite you to check those out below. I am currently offering one-on-one sessions, and I also customize sessions as well. You can always book an alignment call with me where we assess that. Come prepared with questions so that I'm able to give you exactly what you're looking for. And on that note, I'm going to close out this reading. Thank you to the beautiful energies coming through in sacred space here, especially to the energies of Pluto, the energies of Archangel Raphael, the energies of Archangel Michael, these beautiful 8th house scorpionic explorations at their highest octave, even though that might sound like an oxymoron, but it exists. I'm sending you so much love wherever you are here on beautiful Mama Gaia on your journey in love and liberation, always.